Hello, and welcome to Grug Gaming, and welcome back to our Let's Play of RPG Maker MV, where we are making Grug's Revenge. So, in the last episode, we created our main character, Grug, and we set him up with some basic database information, some default information for the game, which we imported. We also accidentally destroyed our map and had to rebuild it, but we are back up and ready to go. One thing I'd recommend if you're going to use the default information or any information, maybe pull that all together and import it before you start working. So, we're ready to get our game started. Now, we've talked about our game's idea. The first thing is a terrible tragedy is going to happen to start our game. Grug's family is going to be demolished. Bad things are going to happen. We're going to lose Grug's family to start off. So we need to set this scene, and we're going to set it with we're going to do a cutscene, basically, is what we're going to do to set this up. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go to our location. So we have Grug's house right here in the very corner, which we need to design. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to make a new map. And we're going to make an outside map, because this is just going to be right outside Grug's house. We're going to call this Grug House Exterior, is what we'll call this one. It's going to be outside, 17 by 13. We'll make it 25 by 25. We'll see how big that is. Say okay. So here's our new map. It's a little bit bigger than I really want. I kind of want this to be small. So let's... Again, the cool thing is, if you've ever played RPGs before, of course, is that you don't have to do everything to scale. A house can be a different scale on the inside than it is on the outside to represent different sized areas. In fact, that's the whole idea behind the way an overworld map and an interior map or location map works. So, let's make this a little bit smaller, shall we? What if it was 15 by 15? That's a little bit more doable, okay? So here... What we're going to do, Grug's house is on the beach. So it's a grassy area. So we'll go to tile mode here. Tile mode. It's got this grass base. If we look on the map, the overworld map, up here, it's in this grass corner. So it's right on the beach. Kind of a weird place for a farm, but that's okay. So Grug's house is going to be in this square. Now again, there's a beach across the top and down the side. So let's simulate that. Let's get this right here, this kind of watery look to it. Oh, not like that. And let's kind of just draw that down the border, shall we? And then again, we don't want perfect corners because that doesn't look very realistic. Let's have it kind of dip in, and in fact, why doesn't it do something like that? There we go. A little watering hole maybe where Grug's animals go to eat. All right? So, or to eat, to drink. What am I talking about? So that gives us a nice little kind of beach edge. And in fact, this is too straight. This should probably cut in like this. And then there should be another one that cuts around. You know, like that. And then over here, this should go in. Again, there should be nothing that looks perfect. In fact, there we go. A little island here. Let's get rid of that. So we have this little beach edge. I don't like that there. There we go. That looks good to me. So we have this little beach corner here on our corner of our map. And then we need to go ahead and put Grug's house. We're going to put Grug's house near the front. Again, if we look at this kind of overworld map. Now, you don't have to do this perfectly. It doesn't have to match every time what you see here. But if you're going to use a tile that looks like this, you might as well make your interior look similar. So it takes the two maps and it kind of gels them together. So... Again, what we're going to do is we're going to put the house in the front and we're going to put some fields in the back and we're going to put some trees on the sides of the house. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we need some fields. Now, you can use different things for fields. Let's see if we have any tiles here that look like a field maybe. Like a farm field or anything like that. We've got some trees and some cacti. I don't really see anything that makes a good field, though, out of this. So we're going to have to fake it, I guess. So what we're going to do is let's use Oh, I don't know. Is there another outside? No, there's just the one outside. Okay. Let's use this as our field then. If we use a darker color and a lighter color, maybe? Yeah, maybe we can do that. Maybe if we take a tile like this, and we do another tile like this, and we do one like this, and then like this, and then we took a slightly darker one. See what I'm getting at? Ah, that's not dark enough. Do we have another dirt color? Maybe a little bit more. I don't know. Yeah, that's good enough. I don't know if I like the not having the... Ah, there we go. That's got a grassy edge around it. So, if we do this instead, with a grassy edge, and then on the inside we do this to fill it all in. What happens if I put this here? Okay, we can get rid of that little grassy edge if we just do the whole thing. There we go. That has a nice smoother edge to it. I kind of like that look a little bit better. And then we can go ahead and we can take that darker color and let's make the... Oh, that went horribly wrong, folks. Horribly wrong. We'll just leave it like this. That's fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. So let's go ahead then and let's put a fence around his farm. I thought I saw some fencing here. Yeah, what happens if we put this fence up? Does it connect? No, it doesn't. Unfortunately. Is there a vertical version of this fence? That'd be really cool if there was. But I don't think there's going to be. Oh, maybe this is. What's this look like? No, that's kind of a walkway. Man, we really don't have a vertical version of the fence. You would think they would have made like a fence post going down, and I'm not seeing it. So instead, we'll get rid of these that we just put in. We'll just leave that kind of blank. It'll look kind of bland, but we'll grab some vegetables here. Here we go. What if we put in some radishes that he's growing? And then maybe some cabbages. And then, I don't know what this stuff is. Some kind of corn. And what else could he grow? Anything else here look like a good crop for Grug to be growing? Nah, that's about it. We'll do the old trick of... whoops. We'll surround it with the same thing. And then one set of these. And then you know what? We're going to put some regular grass back out here. Just like that. So there's Grug's farm field. It looks okay to me. And next we have to put in Grug's house. So Grug's house is going to be here near the front. So what we're going to do is we're going to need to pick out a wall for Grug's house. So why don't we look for something that looks like a wall? It would be a wooden wall. So it would be something like this. Maybe. Now let's go with one of these tiles as the wall. And what I'm looking for, if I take this and I make it too high so I can make it kind of like this over here. And then I can make it a little bit bigger like that. That's pretty good for a house. I like that. And, you know, we don't want this to be a doll house. Not a doll house as in like D-O-L-L. I mean doll as in D-U-L-L. Let's make a little thingy off to the side. Let's, like that. And that'll make sense in a minute. Once I fix it. Alright, so with that, what we're going to do, let me find that little deleter thing there. Let's get rid of this. Nope, we need to just put a tile there. Okay. Replace those tiles. Now we have this little section here. So now we need to put in the roof. Actually, yeah. So we need to find the roof tiles, which are under B. Right? Nope, they're under C. So here's some roofs. Let's do this basic roof right here. So you can see we have a middle and we have corners. So we can put a corner piece right here. And we can put a corner piece here. And if we put the same corner piece here, We can put this piece like this. We can do a vertical corner. Right, oh, sorry, a piece that goes up like that. And then we can put the corner in right here. Yeah, sure, it's covering up part of the farm field, but that's not a big deal. We then need a couple of these pieces to show the edge of the roof line. And then another one of these right here. Another one over. And then we have the final corner right here. The centerpiece right there. We need some of this brown center to fill out the rest of this. And then we're going to need a corner piece right here. Like this. No, that's not going to work. We need this corner. No, that looks wrong as well. Would it just be this piece? I don't like this little edge. There's got to be a better way to do this corner that I'm just not thinking of. Would it be... Oh no, maybe if... Aha, what if this came down straight to here, like that, and this went all the way across so it didn't look as weird, and this hung out right there. Well, now this looks wrong. Well, that's okay. Things don't have to be perfect, so we'll grab this. How about like that? There we go. Is that the same wood? It looks slightly different. It is. It's just I don't know why it looks a little bit odd there. They put an addition on his house late in life. So we've got a basic house shape for Grug for the exterior here. We also need to put a door on the front and maybe some windows. So what if we had a door? We need a regular house door. What do we have here that looks like a regular house door? A good old entryway that you or I or anybody would be happy to walk through. Let's see. And this is this might just be a placeholder. Actually, we don't need a door. We're going to do something different. I just thought of this. Instead, we're going to grab some of these windows. Hey, why don't we grab this window? I have a couple little windows on the house with some stuff hanging off of them. They should be up high, I think, because we're going to put a door down here. What if there was a well out behind his house as well? Right here. Oh, I forgot to check this, folks. There we go. We're at 12 minutes in. I just want to keep track of where we are as far as the episode length. So there's going to be a well out here, and there's going to be some barrels on the side of his house. And over here, oh, we're going to put a chimney on his house. It's going to be in the upper corner here. That's what, remember that for later. So we've got a chimney here as well. What else goes on a farm? What else would you see? I don't know what that is. It's too small for me to tell. You might have a bucket of water over by the field, maybe. And there'd be some wood kind of around the back, maybe where he had chopped some wood down. Maybe it'd be some stacked wood, like right next to the house. Yeah, that's starting to look a little more like a farm. And there might be some. No, these would be more if you're in town, I think. Take that off with a little bit of a Control-Z option. Anything else we want to add, or is this enough? Again, we don't want to overdo it. The player's not going to be up here, so an easy way to fill this out to finish would be you can kind of cover this up. Whoa. Select the whole tree, Grug. You can kind of put some trees back here. Remember there were trees on the side of his house in the photo. Why don't we do some trees like this up the side? Again, if things are in a perfect line, they don't look realistic. So that looks good. There's Grug's farm. Pretty simple. A normal, simple exterior. So the next thing we're going to do is you need to be able to move from Grug's farm to the overworld, right? As here's the overworld and here's Grug's farm. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on this event maker. We're going to select the farm and we're going to create a transfer. Now this is a quick way where we can say, hey, we want to move somebody from the overworld to Grug's house and we want them to be right here when they come in. And we want them to face upward. Alright, so if we do that, and we go to playtest here. Oh, save. Always save, Grug. And we go to playtest. What we should be able to do with Grug is we should, and this shouldn't be as loud because I think I set the volume down lower. Yes, it saved our settings. Alright, that's good. Alright. So if we start out, here's Grug, and if he steps on his house now, it should take us right outside his house. Pretty cool, huh? So now we can walk to his house from the outside world. We can walk through the field and everything else. We're going to do a lot of other stuff here. We're just getting the very basics down. So, we've got it so Grug can walk to his house. But he can't leave. There's no way out. Alright, so that's the next thing we need to fix. So, what we're going to do is, we are going to go to Grug's house exterior. And we're going to make a quick event creation. Whoa. We're going to create a quick event. We're going to transfer from Grug's house to the overworld, and you're going to end up right on the tile. Okay, and you're going to be facing, you're going to retain the direction you were moving. And then we're going to copy this, and then we're going to paste it. Just Control V, and I'm going to paste it all the way across the edge of the farm. In the, oh. Do I want to do it that way? No, I really don't. What I'm looking at is if we paste it all the way across, that means, I know what we can do. Let's see if this works. I haven't tried this before. I want this to be 16 by 16. Okay? And then I want to delete all these ones I just made. Now, I've never tested this before, so we'll see if this works. My question is, if I do this in RPG Maker, again, we're kind of learning as we make this game, if here I create my transfer instead, and that's going to go out here to the outside world, okay, and retain our direction, and then I copy that, and then I paste that all across the outside. Even here, just in case something happened where somebody could walk there. Well, here you wouldn't be able to walk. And here you can't walk. Alright, so now we have this all across the outside. So, if we save, and we go ahead and play our game, there's a way to set it up so you can skip this when you play test. I just can't remember. I don't know how to do it, so. Alright, so here's Grug, and Grug can walk into his house. Yes. Okay. So, Grug can walk into his house. He can walk up here. That looks fine. But then he can also... Okay, he can't walk where there's no tile. So that is a rule for the maker. So that it has to be on the actual tile edge. So how would we do this? Well, I guess if I was going to try and fix this, what I would have to do is, first, I'm going to remove all of these events. Can I just use delete? Yes, I can. Alright, good to know we can just use the delete tool. Alright, so we're going to put our map back down to the 15 by 15 we had before. And then what we'll do is we will go ahead and we'll add a little path to show the player how they would leave. So we're going to put a path, and the path goes, you know what, is there a gravelly path? There is. So there's a little gravel path that goes behind Grug's, you know, it goes around this way, and it comes down here, and it goes down out this way, and it goes over here. Okay? So this shows the player that this is where you would exit this map. So if we go ahead and we then add an event right here, and we create create our transfer from here to the overworld. All right, retain direction. No, we want to be facing downward, just in case somebody walks into it from the side. Okay. Copy that and paste it here. Save it. Let's test it. Here we go. Alright, so now Grug can enter his house. I need to change that place, so that's fine. He can enter. Why don't we cut this down to 1 space, and he can leave. So that works. So there's only one last thing to do, and that is I want to delete this, and I want to delete this right here. Oh, nope, I want to put grass there, because it only sees 1 layer. There we are. So there's the way out, there's the exit, and you know what? Why don't we do this to make it even more... This is kind of, I wish there was a fence, unless I'm missing it. I wish there was another fence that went north. So what if Grug put some fencing around his farm? Here, like that. You know, around the front so you can kind of see. And man, I really wish, again, there should be a fence post that goes up. That looks real. Oh, wait a minute. Ah, got it. That's what we need. Okay. So it's under A. That's what it was. If my voice changes, it's because I'm leaning in, because wow, is this font just tiny. So instead of this, we want grass here. We have learned something new. So if I take these out, here's a little bit of this fence post. I can put this in. I can put it in here. I don't know why it looks like there's 4 of them. Oh, it's because I'm doing something dumb. Okay. I see. Alright. So what I want to do is I want to put... I want to put 1 right... It just doesn't like the edge of the screen, apparently, is the problem. So if you put it right on the edge, it causes a problem. Okay. Well, we've learned our lesson there. So, do we extend this by 1? So we go 16 by 16. We put our sandy water here. We put our grass around the outside. And then we put in our fencing like this. Oh, we need some water up there. There we go. And then let's get rid of these tiles because they look poor. And then we can do this without it looking like junk. Yeah, there we go. Then we can do this. Again, it freaks out when it gets to the very edge. So, width needs to be 1 more. That's fine. If it's there, does it freak out? No! So you don't even have to do that. Okay. Look at that. So if we put no tile... Whoop, that's not what I want. Let's take this back down to... Whoop. Let's take this back down to 15 by 15. There we go. And then let's increase this. 1 more. 16 by 16. That gives us that null space, which fixes the look of all this fencing. In fact, 18. And I want to do that just because I want this to go to here. And I want this to go to here. Doesn't really matter, but I think that looks better. Grug's the kind of man, he'd build a fence all the way across. So that looks good. Let's save it. Let's play test it. So from here, oh, we're stuck in a fence. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. One last thing to do, and that's our event right here. We need to edit, and we need to change this transfer. And in fact, why don't I show you how this looks if you don't use the quick event for this. So if I delete this event, I can make a new event, and it doesn't have to have any special name. We could just call it Overworld to Grug's House Exterior. Alright. And in fact, we don't need exterior there. So Overworld to Grug's house. And then what we would do is right here, we would go to this section. We would go to the player section. Nope, whoops, I'm sorry. We go to the movement section, and we're going to transfer the player from there to this destination here, right here. And we want him to face up when he enters, and we want it to fade to black. Now, it could fade to white, or we could have no fade, and it could just transition right to the next map real abruptly. But we want to have that nice little fade. So that's how you set that up. So if we do that and apply, our playtest should have us walking between the two areas. So here's Grug. Something's wrong. When in doubt, check it out. Oh, last thing. We need to set this to same as characters. So this priority tells the game how to react when your character walks over it. If it's set to below characters, then your character will step on it and be able to walk over the location. So it's a steppable space. If it's set as same as characters, that'll be like an object that is in the way of them walking. So if you wanted to put a treasure chest or a pillar or something that they can't walk through, they have to interact with, you'd choose same as character. Above characters sets it above the character themselves so they can walk under it. We're going to do below character. I want this to be underneath the character. And the trigger right now is set to action button. I want this to be player touch. So what I'm saying is that when the player touches that square and it's underneath him, he will then be transported to this section. So that should fix this. So let's give it a shot. And there we go. We transport right in. We can walk around this farm, Grug's little farm here. And from here, we can leave. Alright, pretty cool. Now what you don't get is you don't get that built-in walking sound. Because that is actually... Oh, we don't need to click on Grug. That built-in walking sound, if we look at this event, it has this play sound effect, move 1 is what it has there. So if we wanted to add that, we could. So we could go in here to our event. We could set a new item, which goes above whatever's there. And we could play a sound effect. There we go. And we could play move 1. Let's find it here. Move, 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 move. Move 1. That, or we could play move 2. Ooh, that's a little stompy. Knock on the door. Big hits. Shuffling through a corridor. Move 1 will work. We'll leave all these the same way. We'll say, okay, we can pitch it up and down, or we can increase or lower the volume. We could pan it from left to right, so you can even have stereo effects in your game. So we'll say move 1. So apply. So now one more time. And there we go. Same effect. Same neat fade. It doesn't fill up the whole screen here, but the map will as we go. Again, the map will scroll as we're walking. It looks like the minimum map size we want to make is, I'm fine with having that. You know, some people might not like that black section off to the right. that you can't really interact with, I'm okay with that, I guess. We'll think about that. And that would require a lot of messing with every single map. But at least we have this set up. So, since we're going into about a half hour on this video, we've set up this area, and we've set up the overworld transfer to it. So what we'll do in the next episode is we will set up the interior of Grug's house, and we'll set up the transfers for that as well. Oh, look at that. That looks terrible up there. What happened here? Oh, let's fix that. I can't deal with that. Why does that not look the same? Something there doesn't look the same as when Grug is in that world, in that map. Something's an issue there. And I don't know what it is. Let's see. Is it because we... I don't know. It looked odd. Oh well. Anyways, folks, so when we come back next episode, we will set up the interior of this building, set up the transfers, and then we will talk about what we're going to do as far as an opening scene for our game. So, folks, thanks for watching. Please tell your friends. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, we hope to see you soon.